The Flash returns for the exorcism of Nash Wells. Well, in the last episode, it was discovered that Nash is possessed by Eobard Vaughn. And, well, what was that all about? Him seeing ghosts and whatnot? Well, the show clears that up. It appears that his doppelgangers from other universes and what have you, when the Earth was combined into one, so that the CW shows are now on all one Earth and all that, it appears Nash received the consciousness of all his doppelgangers all in one. So why didn't that happen to everyone else? Yeah, there's a pretty big plot hole there. Well, once again, we have a fill-in-the-blank plot. So my guess is because Nash, who was pivotal to the plot of Crisis as a cosmic, archaeologist or whatever, and he's like the Indiana Jones of, traveling through different worlds and whatnot. He's Indiana Jones meets Doctor Who. Yeah. So, well, as a result of this, and of course his inadvertently freeing the Anti-Monitor and causing the whole problem to begin with, which is why that's how they came up with their pariah character. Even though he just says, "Call me pariah." Oh, that was bad. But so by that, I assume this is the reason why his doppelgangers all collapsed into him. Whereas everybody else they're just themselves, and whatever doppelgangers they had either ceased to exist or are existing on new worlds that was created as a result of the Crisis, which CW Earth apparently remains unaware of. I don't know about the other shows, but as far as The Flash is concerned, the characters anyway, they don't know that other worlds did survive the Crisis, as teased by the end of the crossover. Anyway, this show finally gets to an actual okay show, despite the glaring plot hole and whatnot. Even though it does some of the similar things that filler episodes do, but it does it well. It progresses the plot points that they have been setting up here, and not throwing in stupid soap opera roadblocks to drag it out because they don't really have the material to flesh out the number of episodes that they just, for whatever reason, feel required to do. Okay, so you have the plot of the whole black hole conspiracy going on, and then we get a new villain called Sunshine, and she's introduced with the line, "Call me Sunshine." Look, it is a comic book thing, but it just doesn't come across on screen, not well. But anyway, she's just there to move the plot along. We don't get a whole lot of detail about her. Maybe she'll show up later, I don't know. But she's another operative to steal technology for Black Hole. And meanwhile, the Mirror Universe deal, it appears Iris, and now I'm already forgetting her name, Cisco's girlfriend. Now that she has a Mirrorverse created entity posing as her. So these two of the Mirror Iris and Mirror Cisco's girlfriend are not real. They're not from a parallel universe, which is what I thought this would be a means by which the Flash would discover that there's still a multiverse. No, it's just the Mirrorverse, which only, what's her name, McCullough is there with the real Iris, and now the real Cisco's girlfriend is there as well, I guess. And so she's directing these, I guess, avatars that she's created to work within the real world, because apparently she really is trapped in the Mirrorverse. She can't leave on her own, but she can create these entities that can do her bidding. So that's what they're doing, and they're working to secure different technological devices that Black Hole is after as well. And they sort of mostly Iris in this episode. Well, yeah, pretty much Iris is manipulating things to work in their favor. So she and Cisco's girlfriend, the mirror version, try to steal this bit of technology, but then Sunshine shows up. So they call the Flash to come in, but Flash is having his problems with the Speed Force. So Frost decides to go do it instead. Well, you know, icy popsicles aren't going to do much. And Sunshine, well, she can produce heat and whatnot. She has the power to bend light and all this sort of thing. And she can turn invisible when she needs to. So Frost is pretty much useless. So the Flash shows up after giving himself a shot of the velocity drug. And, well, he has a reaction to it and collapses. And Frost ends up damn nearly getting killed. And Sunshine makes off with whatever it is oh, no, she doesn't, because the police arrive and she has to make good her escape. So they decided to protect this technology. And in a roundabout way, Barry Allen comes up with a ruse by which to trap this woman and figuring it out, and he doesn't need to use his flash powers. And it's a pretty good scene. They play it out very well. They trap her. It's believable that they did. He discovers that she depends on sunlight, so turn the lights off, close all the windows, and there's no sunlight. So then she has no powers, and they capture her, and that's the end of that. And it's one of those things to remind you that Barry Allen is a police officer. He's a forensic scientist, of course, but he still works with the police. So they set up this trap to capture her, and it works. And it's pretty good. Meanwhile, of course, the title of the story is about the exorcism of Nash. So they got to get Eobod Thawne's spirit out of his body. And they do this eventually by doing their Matrix bit where they go into his mind, which they've done repeatedly. And, of course, love. Love saves the day. So the little side plot for Nash and, what's her name? Allegra, was that he had this picture of her doppelganger. So what was the deal? Was she his daughter? Well, no, more like an adopted daughter. They show a flashback where he meets her as a little girl and takes her on as his apprentice, basically doing his job of looking for valuable artifacts all throughout the multiverse. And ultimately, this ends up getting her killed, and he blames himself for it. He never wanted to face it, but Thawne is using this to control him and break down his will. So Barry and Cisco and damn it, why am I blinking on her name? You know, Joe's new wife, the one with mind powers or whatever. So they go in, and Cisco's telling Nash he's got to face his fear, so he does, and you see what happened to Allegra. Well, her name's Maya in that version, and she was trying to get something, and it causes her to fall, and she dies. And it's his fault as far as he's concerned. I mean, they were both in the same game. She wanted to get this artifact, and it cost her life and all that. But he was the adult here, you know, the senior partner of this deal, and so it's haunted him all this time. So once he faces it and deals with it, Thawne loses his grip on Nash, and his negative energy flows out of him into the cosmos. And they say, well, he's not really dead. He can one day come back. And so, of course, he will. But meanwhile, they suddenly, as a result of this, because in order to beat Barry, Reverse Flash was taunting him about Nora's death. And because this is the other plot hole here. So because of this, and Barry doesn't let it get the better of him, and he's sad and everything, but he remembers his daughter and what knowledge she gained as a result of working with Thawne and how to build your own Speed Force. So he suddenly remembers, oh yeah, I got her diary. So at the end, they say we can use this to construct our own Speed Force. So it's like, look, that's been laying around for how long now? So, see, if you had cut the episodes down, it wouldn't have been so bad that he just now, it dawns on him, oh yeah, my daughter's diary, which I still don't understand how that exists, since her whole existence never happened as a result of the time manipulation and whatnot. But what are you gonna do? So Yeah, there's that. But this, there's silly and stupid stuff, and there always will be and always has been. It's a CW show, for heaven's sakes. What do you expect? But more episodes like this would have been a lot better, since you don't have really the material for it. Again, it should be cut down. There shouldn't be this many episodes, and you could split your other CW shows in this manner and tighten those down as well. I don't think that would fix most of them, because they're all pretty bad, but still it would work better, rather than just this constant thinking you can depend completely on the manipulation of emotion, where characters reach out to one another and they get angry and they struggle, but in the end they love each other. You can't survive on that alone. And at this point, it's so played out. It's like, you're doing this again. I see. It's to the point that it actually kicks you out of the show rather than drawing you in. So, anyway, finally, an actual episode of The Flash after, I don't know, 3 or 4 of filler. And of course, due to recent events of the outbreak, whose name I can't mention, even though it has several, but all of them are offensive and dangerous or something. But we all know what I'm talking about, and they've announced that they've ceased production on The Flash. Now, at this point, I'm guessing that's for the coming season rather than this one, unless they were doing post-production work on them, because by now they got to be coming to the end, because the season's ending. So I don't know what that means. I'm guessing the season will conclude on schedule. But as for the next season, well, I guess it'll be a little late or what have you. Who knows how far along they are in taping shows. But with everything else, things are coming to a halt until this ordeal passes on. So, and of course, if the worst of this event is that some TV shows and movies are coming out later than usual, I think that's not the worst that could happen, obviously. So, but anyway, that's an aspect of all of this. Thank you for watching and listening. Why not like and subscribe, and check out that link description below. That'll take you to my many stores that have plenty of goodies for you, most notably my comic book Night over at indieplanet.com. And of course, you can catch my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on radiomisfits.com. And of course, you can also watch my videos over at BitChute.